Okay, good afternoon to all of you. Today we'll try to solve certain class of problems which is related to the design of tension members. Typically, I'll discuss about two different kinds of problem. One would be coming from that how to analyze the tension members, because there are a lot of different issues are been there, or there are a lot of different parameters have been there. So let us first focus on that, how to take into account those parameters while making the analysis or the safety point of view of the existing structure or existing tension member which is already been designed. And in that we have to check whether the proposed design which I'm going to discuss over here, that is safe or unsafe, depending on the nature of the clause whatever is been available in the IS code. Okay, so the first problem that is, or I would say that this is an example problem, example 1. It is nothing but a single angle section, obviously equally legged angle or unequally legged angle, depends on that. So I am taking into account the unequal leg angle because it would give you much more feeling about how to start with the solution of ISA 90 by 60 by 6. This is the angle size, is connected to a 10 mm thick gusset plate at the ends with 5 number of 16 mm dia bolt, which is required to transfer the tension. Now, what is the statement of the problem? Determine the design tensile strength. Determine the design tensile strength of the angle which has been connected if the gusset is, or the gusset plate is, if the gusset is connected to 90 mm leg of the angle, 90 mm leg of the angle. Okay, so we have to define or find it out the design tensile strength. The basic understanding of this particular problem is already it has been connected. We have to find it out whether what is the design tensile strength, and by utilizing or by defining or determining the design tensile strength, we would be able to be in a position to find that whether the connections are safe or unsafe. Okay, so in a typical schematic, if I want to draw over here, in a typical schematic, this is my gusset. Okay, now in this gusset the plates are, or this could be the plate, or actually it is an angle section, so I'm providing the angle over here, right? So this is my central line, this is my central line. So now 5 number of bolts are being connected over here. So let's consider the bolt at here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let me define this line. This is 2 and this is, let's say 3. Okay. And if I take on the other view, this would be the gusset, and over this gusset one plate is connected, the angle is been connected. So this would be the one of the leg width, and where it has been connected, here it has been connected over here. So this would be the, from the base of the angle, this would be my gauge, one of the gauge distance where it has been connected. Okay, let's say it is considered to be presented as WL, and this would be the gauge over here. This would be the gauge of my here. Now what is the total length of the connection? LC. This is my total length of the connection, LC, and let's say the end or edge distance has been given over here. It is a 30 mm. So this much distance would be your 4 times of, let's say 50 mm is the pitch, so it is 200 mm. Okay. Now from the table, this particular data is being given to you, that ISA 90 by 60 by 6. So from the table you can find it out, steel table. There is another one book that is called steel table book. Okay, from there you can get all the gross area of the angle section, your ISM I section, your channel section readily. So from the table you will be getting what is the gross area of the angle. So it would be like 865 mm, and your this gauge, depending on the things of the ISA section, you will be finding it out what is the gauge. It is also been specified 50 mm for 90 mm leg. If it is a 60 mm leg is connected, then your gauge would be different. Okay, so now with this, what I could make it? I could make it first the B of S. What is the B of S? In the last class we have shown that what is the B of S. B of S would be the shear lag width. Shear lag width. How much it would be? There is a generic formula is there to find it out the shear lag, because definitely the shear lag would be there. So we are going to find it out. The shear lag is basically nothing but 60 plus 50 minus 6. What are the 60, 50 and 6? 60, 50 and 6 are the L, WL. This is the WL plus W minus T. There are many different other notations are also been there in the different books and the literature. Okay, so how much it would be there? It would be 104 mm. It would be 104 mm. So these are the things that we right now we have. So from there we can now start our calculations, because these are the few things you can directly evaluate or get it from the different steel table text. So the first thing that I am going to evaluate is step by step strength of the plate as yielding of the gross cross section, strength of the angle or the joint as yielding of the first failure mode or first failure event. We have three different failure scenario: gross yielding, net section failure, and the block shear failure. Okay, so the gross yielding of AG, I'm writing in a short that yielding of the gross cross section. So how much it would be? The TDG, again you will be utilize the formula TDG, design strength is equal to AG, gross area of the angle, multiplied by f of y divided by gamma m naught. Okay, so how much it would be? 865 is your gross area, multiplied by fy. How much is your fy? Unless another way specified in most likely we have gone through it, is a we are going to consider 250. Okay, E250 is the material that is been utilized, divided by gamma m naught is 1.21. So from here, after doing all such calculations, we will be getting 196.4 kilonewton. Okay. Now, what is the next thing? Next thing is to evaluate the strength which has been governed by the tearing at critical section. Strength which has been governed, strength as governed, VERNAD, as governed by tearing or rupture at critical section. Okay, now if we are going with that, then we are going to find it out, same thing that what we made it, identify the critical section and then define the what is the AN and all. Okay, but that was for a plate. Now here the things are becoming, now the angle has been connected over here. Okay, if the angle has been connected over here, the similar thing that whatever we did in the bolted connection design, the diameter of the bolt, how much it was? Diameter of the bolt DB is equal to 16 mm. So diameter of the hole, how much it would be? Plus 2 mm clearance, so 18 mm. Okay. Now in the previously, whenever we did the bolted connection, most likely in all the places we have evaluated or taken into account the two plates are being connected with each other. Now here the angles are being connected with one of the gusset plate, and in the angle only one leg is being connected. So we have to define the net area of connected leg. Net area of connected leg first. Okay, so how do we define net area of the connected leg? A and C. C stands for the connected. Okay, so A and C. How do we define the A and C? A and C could be defined in the way that 90 mm the longer leg has been connected. So 90 mm minus 18, okay, minus 6/2 multiplied by 6. 6/2 means it is the thickness it is coming. So half of the t/2 it is being deducting to identify the net section. So this much amount of total length it has been connected over here. Okay. So if it is like that, then how much it is becoming? 414 mm square. Okay. Now we go to the cross section of the section area of the outstanding leg. Outstanding leg means which is not been connected. So gross area of the outstanding leg, gross area of outstanding leg AG0, outstanding leg. Previously it was the connected leg. Now it is a outstanding leg. So how much it would be? Again the same, 60 mm leg is been outstanding. Again the same process, 6 mm is the thickness T. So this much amount of 342 mm square is the gross area of the outstanding leg. Why gross area? Because there is no bolt is being connected over there. Okay. Now what are the other components are being available to us? Other component that has been available to us is that BS, or the shear lag width, is been available to us because already we have been calculated. So S is equal to 104 mm, which is already been evaluated. What is the LC? LC is the, what is LC? LC is the length. Already we have calculated. So I'm just redefining it again. Length of the end connection. Length of the end connection. That means, what does this mean? The distance between outermost bolt in the end joint, or end joint, okay, which is being measured along the load direction, along the load direction, or length of the length of the weld. If it is in a welded connection, length of the weld along the load direction. So both the purposes are solved over here. Okay, so if it is a welded connection, then only thing that what we require over here, your BS would be different. You have to find it out with the formula, and for a bolted connection, it is a different formulas have been there. Okay. So the LC at this present context, the LC becomes 4 times 50. What is 50? 50 is the pitch, and there are 4 bolts. 5 bolts are there, so total length would be 200. The length of the end connection. What else we require? We require another one factor that is called the factor beta. Another one factor that is called the factor beta. Where it has been utilized, the factor beta basically been utilized to ensure that you are correctly accounting the shear lag effect. Okay, you are correctly accounting the shear lag effect. And specifically this beta is required only for your angle section. For the channel section, there are different other notations to be provided, or otherwise also you can utilize the similar kind of notations. So what is this beta? Beta is nothing but there is again a long formula has been there in the code. I'm just repeating that long formula. So just basic idea is how to utilize those formula to get my job done. So these are the different these are the formula that has been utilized. Fu multiplied by BS divided by LC. Okay. So now go step by step. 1.4 minus 0.076. What is your W? W is your 60 outstanding flange or the unconnected leg. 60 by T. What is your T? T is your 6. Sorry. T is your 6 multiplied by Fy by Fu 250 divided by 410 multiplied by BS 104 divided by 200. Okay. So this becomes 1.159. Now we need to ensure that it is being satisfying within this particular limit. What is that limit? Limit is it should be less than equal to Fu divided by Fy multiplied by gamma m0 divided by gamma ml. Okay, which becomes 1.4432, and it also should be reduced, this beta also to be less than equal, it should not be less than equal to, greater than equal or equal to 0.70. Okay, 0.70. Now with this, I am just having my final beta over here. How much it would be? It would be beta is equal to 1.159. Okay, beta is equal to 1.159. Now what else I have to do? Now I will be employing the actual formula for finding it out the strength. Okay, so what is the formula? Formula is basically TDN is equal to, there are two parts, 0.9 times of ANC for the connected part multiplied by Fu divided by gamma ml plus there would be the unconnected part. in the unconnected part, you will have the gross area multiplied by FU. Gross area is always associated with the FY. Net area is always associated with the FU. And whenever we are talking about the gross area, then accordingly the factor of safety also been associated with. Okay, so now over here 0.9 times, what is the ANC? ANC I have already been calculated in the previous slide. It was been there, 414 times FU 410 divided by 1.25 plus beta I just calculated 1.1159 times gross area I have been calculated for the outstanding leg. Okay, so this would be 342 times 250 divided by again 1.1 is the factor of safety. So this becomes now 212.3 kilonewton. Okay, so now until now what we did for the strength of the angle, which is based on the yielding of the gross cross section, then the strength which is governed by the tearing or the nets at the net section. Now what is the third one? Third one is the block shear. Okay, this is the only typical thing that we require to identify how to find it out different terms. Third one is the block shear strength. Block shear strength. So in the block shear strength, what is meant by the, first of all, let us again relook the concept. What is meant by the block shear? Block shear means it is saying that the failure would happen both the shear as well as the certain amount of tensional force, both due to the shear and the tensile force. So we have to identify what are the so the failure plane would occur. Let me just have a, so the failure plane, if the same portion is getting out due to the failure due to the block shear, so this entire along this line, along this 1, 2, 3, along the line 1, 2, 3, the failure would initiate. Then only the block shear will get activated or it will start, and then the entire portion of the your connected part will get out from the your gusset plate along with the gusset plate. So the failure plane develops at the or the failure along line 1, 2, 3. Okay, so along line 1, 2, 3, again I am just saying the block shear is having two basic components. One is the shear, another one is the tension. So we have to define then the tensile area and the shear area. Tensile, gross tensile area, then gross shear area, net tensile area, net shear area. These are the four components that we require to find it out. Okay, that is the only thing that hinders the entire calculations. So tensile or the tearing length or the tensile tearing length, I would say the tearing length in tension. How much would be the tearing length in tension? Let me just go back to the first slide. How much would be the tearing length? 90 mm tearing length. 90 mm leg is been connected. Okay. 90 mm leg is been connected. And what is the gauge? Gauge is your 50. So this much amount of length is required. So this much amount of length means 90 minus 50. So the tearing length would be 90 minus 50 is equal to 40. Okay. And the shearing length, shear would develop over here. So the shearing length would be your 30, which is the end or edge distance, plus 200. So 230. So let me just write it first over there. Tearing length in tension would be the 40 mm and the shear length is equal to 230. How 230 is coming is equal to 30 plus 200 mm. Okay, 30 plus 200 mm. Now your things are coming over here that you have to define different area. You have to define different area. The gross shear area. How much would be the gross shear area? Gross shear area means, you see that this is the shear length. Okay, this is your shear length, 230. So the gross shear area would be 230 times 6 mm thick of that angle section. So this much, this 230 is the shear length and 6 mm is the thickness of angle. Okay, so this would be 1380. Okay, so the gross shear area from here, it has been evaluated. What is the next one that I will go? Gross tensile area. G stands for gross, T stands for tensile, and V stands for the shear. What is the tensile length in tearing? 40 times 6 would be there. Again, the thickness of the angle. So it becomes 240 mm square. Therefore, the gross tensile area is also been evaluated. What are the next thing? Next thing is that to find it out, net shear area. How to define the net shear area? Two things I have to define. One is net shear area and one is net tensile area of this particular cross section. Okay. So net shear area and net tensile area. Let us just go back to the statement or the schematic over there. So the net shear area. Shear is basically developing along this path. Okay. So the net shear area is going to get evaluated. How much is the connected leg? Or rather, I would say that how much is the shear length? Shear length is becoming 230. Total shear length. Okay, is 230 minus 4.5 times 18 times 6. 230 is from this face to this connected face. Okay, this is 230. What we are subtracting? We are subtracting the area of the individual bolt. Okay, how many bolts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I have written over 4.5. Any idea for what I have been written over there? 4.5. 4.5 means we are basically considering from here at the centroid of the last bolt, at the centroid of the, from the centroid of the last bolt we are considering. Okay, that is why 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 bolts are there, and 0.5 we are considering from the last bolt to ensure that we are basically taking the things from the centroid of the bolt, because that is, we are making it as an effective area. So this becomes some values later, will go later. Similarly, we will be holding up the net tensile area. What is the total tensile length or the tearing length? Your tearing length was 40. The tearing length was 40. Similar way, tear means this tension is developing on this particular direction. Okay, again from the centroid, we are taking up the bolt hole diameter, multiplying with the bolt hole diameter, that would be considered as the net. Okay, so now finally what it would be coming, net shear area is becoming now 230 minus 4.5 times 18 times 6 is equal to 894 mm square, and this one becomes 40 minus 0.5 times 18 multiplied by 6, which is equal to 186 mm square. Okay, so finally we have reached the net tensile area calculation and net shear area calculation. Now what else? Now we have to find it out, utilizing that two formula, dB1 and dB2. The lowest of these two value would be giving you the strength due to the block shear. So what is the formula? Let me just write it down, the formula first. So AVG times Fy divided by AVG times Fy divided by square root of 3 times gamma m0 plus 0.9 times your ATN times Fy divided by gamma ml. Okay, so this is one of the formula. Let us first evaluate this these values. So now you know everything over here. Okay, one part basically within this, one part is coming due to the shear. Another one part is coming gross shear area. Another one part, this part is basically tensile part, net tensile part. Okay, so how much it would be coming? I'm not going to, because all the values are now available to you. So I'm just straightforward writing the, after making the calculation, 235.99 kilonewton. Okay, so the next thing is what? Next thing is another one formula I have to utilize, dB2. What it is? It is also having the two components. What are the two components? Two components are 0.9 times of AVN times Fu divided by your square root of 3 times gamma ml. Sorry, here actually this particular thing, it should be the Fu. I'm sorry, this ATN, the net area is coming, which to be associated with the FU, which to be associated with the FU. It was not FY. Okay. So plus ATG multiplied by G. G stands for gross. So now FY would be coming divided by gamma M0. Okay. Now this becomes to me 206.913 kilonewton. So as I said previously, you have two different formulas to find it out, the block shear strength. So out of these two values, we will be considering the block shear strength as T, or the, I would say, the block shear strength, T dB. B stands for the block. Out of these two, minimum one, so 913 kilonewton. Okay, right. So now out of all these three, which one would be the lowest? The block shear becomes 206. Let me just write it down over here in the next slide. Block shear is, let us first write it from the beginning. So let us write from the beginning. ATDG is nothing but the strength which is governed by the yielding of the gross cross section, which becomes 196.4 kilonewton. From second, the strength which is governed by the tearing at critical cross section, critical section, which becomes TDN. Now 213.3 kilonewton, and third one, which is coming due to the block shear, which is basically 206.91 kilonewton. So out of all these three, you have to take the minimum one to find the, or not find, to provide minimum one for strength of the, but it was there, strength of the angle. So what it would be? It would be the strength of the angle would be now 196.4 kilonewton. This would be the answer. Okay, this would be the answer. So this is the way generally we do for our calculations, for identifying the or analyzing the connection which is subjected to the tensile in nature or the tensile in force. Second problem that I'm just write it down over here. I'll maybe I don't know whether today there will be any time or not. Let me just write it down, the example 2. In the example 2, now it is the design problem. So design, the problem statement is design a double angle tension member. Double angle tension member means how do we fabricate it? You will be fabricating based on the way that in between these two angle section, you will have one gusset plate to be inserted over there, and through the gusset plate both the angles are being connected from back to back, and then the fabrication to be done. Okay, so the tension member connected on each side, already it is being provided, connected on each side of a 8 mm thick gusset plate. Let me just write it. Gusset plate to carry an axial factored load of 375 kilonewton. You may use 20 mm black bolt. It is up to you, but I am providing this particular information to you. Black bolt, and assume SOP connection. What is meant by the SOP connection? Because here you will get the different factor of safety. Okay, SOP connection. You may take the length of the member is 3 meter, and the member are having both the ends hinged. Okay, both the ends hinged. So how do we start up? Because the problem is now a design problem, and we have to find the cross-sectional property or the sectional details of this double angle tension member. Okay, so double angle tension member, which has been connected by an through an gusset plate and using the bolted connection. Now again, we have to recall whatever the things we have done in the bolted connection. What are the things we have done in the bolted connection for making? First, we have to identify, I'm just not doing the calculation today. First, we have to find it out that what is the strength of the bolt? Strength of bolt. How much? Strength of the bolt, when we are going to find it out, then we have different components. Whether it is the single shear or it is a double shear. Then what else we need to find it out? We need to find it out the bearing strength. We need to find it out the bearing strength. Now once the strength has been evaluated, let's say for example in this particular class of problem, what kind of, whether it would be single shear or double shear?
Double.
It would be double shear, right? It would be double shear, because it is already been specified over here. Both the angles are connected on each side of it, 8 mm thick gusset plate. So double shear. Okay, fantastic. So in double shear, this 20 mm dia black bolt, how much would be the strength? Here, I'll just try to show you here. I have defined in a bit different way or different manner. What is the strength of the shear? That area of the threaded area times the number of bolt or the number of your portion that is coming onto the threaded portion plus the NT plus NS times AS. NS means number of plane that is intercepting on the shank area multiplied by the shank area times 400 means FU divided by square root of 3 multiplied by 1 upon 1.25 is the factor of safety, isn't it not? Now here, what in general in the previous classes, I said you that you can easily take that both the things would be considered as the threaded area or the shank area. But here I have been done in a bit different way, that I have been evaluated the things that, let's say, pi by 4 times 20 square area of the bolt, diameter of the bolt 20. This NT I have been assumed 1 plus I am assuming that one plane would be at the shank area and one plane would be at the threaded area. But previously it was something different the way we have been taken into account. So it is up to your choice in the design perspective. You can consider both the things at the threaded area or both the things at the shank area, or one at the thread, one at the shank, times 20 square times 400 divided by square root of 3 times 1 by 1.25, which is coming around to me 103.31 kilonewton. Okay, same thing, it is a design problem. For making the bearing strength, again we have to recall the previous things, that nothing has been provided. Whenever we do calculate the bearing strength, there is one particular parameter called KB is involved. Okay, this KB is a function of your E, end and or edge distance, the pitch, the diameter of the hole or diameter diameter of the hole DH or DO, right, and all the parameters FU, FY, all the parameters have been involved. So now you have to consider that what is the minimum pitch, maximum pitch that you may require to take into account. I have taken the E is equal to, let's say, consider it is a 40 mm. P, let's say it is considered to be as a 60 mm. Okay. DH, you can identify it is a 20 mm dia of the bolt, so DH would be 22 mm, and all other different things. So from there you have to find it out what is the KB is. I think now, as of now, all of you can do this kind of simple calculations. So ideally then KB to be evaluated, for me it is coming around 0.606. Okay, so after calculation of this KB, now we have to find it out what is the V design bearing strength, DPD, which would be 1.1 by 1.25 times 2.5 times KB times D times your what is the thickness is 8 times I think DT is there. Okay, DT is there. Is there any other thing to be added up? 2.5. Anirudh, can we just write it down, put it into the chat? Is there anything I'm missing over here?
FU.
Vaibhavi?
Sir, FU.
Is there anything in the formula I'm missing?
Sir,
Because
FU.
as of now, I don't have this this thing, this IS code with me. So how much is the bearing? Formula for the bearing? Okay. Now I think I could recollect. It would be 1 by 1.25. I think I can make it kb times dt, sorry, dt times fu. All right, fu would be there. So fu is for the bolt, fu would be the 400. Okay. So with this, I'll be getting some values over here. Okay. With this, I am getting the values over here. So out of these two values, you have to take the minimum one and to find it out that this would be the design strength, a design strength of the bolt. Sorry, it should be the design shear strength. It should be the design strength of the bolt. Now, how much is the force that is being applied over here? 375 kilonewton. Okay, so you can eventually calculate that how many number of bolts that are required. Okay, from you have the applied factored force is 375. You know that how much amount of your design strength of the bolt you can eventually calculate. Okay, so now you have to place those bolts on the bolted connection with the gusset plate. Okay, after placing those bolted connection of the gusset plate, again you have to redo everything whatever you have done to define that your design is safe or unsafe, because there are plenty of different things you have been assumed over here. EP, the end distance, S distance, everything you have been assumed over here. Okay, so that again you have to redo or recross check over here to find it out that how many number of bolts are there. Okay, this is the number of bolts. Another one thing is there that what is the ISA section to be considered. This is the final thing. We have been only from the strength of the bolt we can understand, okay, either the 5 number of bolts or 10 number of bolts are required, but what about your ISA, which is actually you have to make the design to carry the load. So maybe we can start in the next class and we will start discussing over here. Okay. So with this, today I'm closing today's session, and let's continue the same thing on Friday with maybe another 2 or 3 couple of problems. Okay, I think after that in design of tension member would be completed. Okay. So see you on Friday, 3 o'clock. Thank you very much.